Anyway, guys, welcome to episode 4.
We made it.
Episode 4 of the William Mead Watches podcast, joined by my co-host and friend Josh once again.
Greetings, Earthlinks.
Yeah, can you just
Thank
point
you.
that at the mouth, please? Thank you.
Good.
Right in the mouth, where you
I think
usually like it.
Oh, pardon me. I think we just jump straight into it.
Yeah,
Address the latest news.
Do you know the thing is, we do a lot of waffling on the podcast.
Yeah.
Which
Our
I like,
podcast, 20 minutes of waffling.
I think we need to do a wee bit more.
Yeah, so just jump straight in.
Just fire away, let's get into it.
Yep. Some breaking news as of last night. It was announced on Instagram that we have some new competition in Glasgow.
Absolutely.
Give a bit of backstory of what's going on.
Listen, I've known about that for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
I actually know the boys really well, and I've got quite a good working relationship with them both.
So who is it and what's going on?
So it's Harvey and Jacob Kettle Kids are opening in Cruise in Glasgow. So they've got a pop-up in Flannels in Liverpool. They've got a shop in Maddox Street in London, which is 1010, by the way. Very nice shop. And they are now opening in Cruise, which is obviously owned by Flannels, so makes sense. But I've known for a few weeks. As I say, it wasn't a shock to me when it got released last night. And listen, wishing them all the best. I think it's a great addition to the high street in Glasgow. I think it's what Glasgow needs, and I'm really looking forward to what they do in that space. And yeah, I think it's a good thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring to the city. And listen, competition is a good thing. It drives you forward in business. And if you didn't have any competition, you would become complacent. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring.
Yeah. And how did you find out? So you said you found out 2 weeks ago. You've got quite a good relationship with the boys. You buy, you sell. Yeah,
we buy and sell quite a lot together. I know them relatively well. I remember before they first started, I think they were buying. They were selling to me. I was selling to them. Can't remember. It's like a Cartier. It was like 1,500 quid. This is like years and years ago. I mean, they were like kids at the time. So was I. I was probably 23 or something. They're a bit younger than me. So, but I remember to see them from where they've went from that point to now. Yeah. I mean, all you can do is tip your hat to them and congratulate them, because they've built a fantastic business, and good luck to them and good on them. Because I like to see people succeeding, mate. I'm not a negative person. Like, I like to see people doing well.
No, and to be honest, I think that's what I was most impressed with you. So when I heard the news, I was initially like, oh God, another party joining what we've got going on. We've got a good thing. And then you straight away took all the positives from it, which I was impressed by, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a positive thing. It's not a negative.
Yeah.
In any business competition, drives you to be better, give better service, bring your product to the people and to your customers in a better way. It's a good thing for everyone involved.
Yeah.
It's not a negative thing. It's a good thing. And a lot of people sent me it like, oh, well, blah blah blah, like just trying to be negative about it, but it doesn't faze me. I don't. As much as we're a watch company based in the UK and obviously based with an office in Glasgow and an office in London, we don't actually sell, a huge percentage of our stock within Glasgow. I mean, we do sell stuff in Glasgow, of course, but we do a lot all over the country. Mm-hmm. I mean, Peterborough last week, Ireland the week before. What have we got? Jersey coming up. We've got Friday. Newcastle on Thursday. We've got Manchester. It's a countrywide business. It's a countrywide. I mean, we're not everywhere, but
we're global, Mr. Worldwide.
It's a countrywide business. You need to broaden your horizons a little bit. It's not something that that's a negative thing. It's 100% a positive thing. So I know the boys did well. Anyway, you asked me how I found out. I was chatting to them about a deal. They've actually got one of my watches that I need to get back. Not like in a weird sense. They just, like, by chance they took one in for me when I wasn't there, so I need to get it back from them. And he said, oh, I'm actually in Glasgow like at the end of the month or close to the end of the month, and he was telling me, he was like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I was like, cool, like, I think it's a good thing. And initially I was a bit like, like maybe it's not, but actually when I sat and thought about it for 5 minutes, it was actually, I was like, do you know what, that's a really good thing. So so that's where I found out. So I've known for a few weeks, so it wasn't a surprise to me last night.
But at the same time,
on Instagram,
you've got like a very good, you've shopped in Cruise for as long as I've met you. So you've got quite a good relationship there as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, that is a bit of a, in Glasgow, it's a very well-known place to buy expensive clothes and handbags and shoes and stuff like that. So it's been there for a long time. I've been shopping in that store for a very long time, since I was a kid. I used to go into that store after school and, you know, meet my sister, meet my mum. So, like, yeah, I know the staff in the store. I know them quite well. And obviously just from going in, as you get a bit older and you start to kind of buy your own stuff, and I know them quite well within that store. Yeah, you could say so.
Yeah. And you did an event in October, right?
Yeah, so last year I kind of proposed an idea to them to kind of say, look, I think this would be a really good fit for your customers. I think we proposed the idea in sort of June time. I was like, we could do an event for your customers. We'll get, you know, bring some watches to show. We'll do an event, bring your customers, all your kind of top clients, and let's just see if we can collaborate and bring something different to your customers that isn't just kind of what you guys already do. And it was kind of a first. Glasgow's first, has never really done that before, so it was kind of first in Glasgow. So we done the event. We ended up, after cutting through a lot of red tape, because obviously with a big company like that, there's different levels of management that you need to get through. But after kind of back and forth negotiating for a few months, we ended up doing the event in October, and the event went well. It was a really good display for us of, you know, what we can bring to the table and what we offer in terms of, there's a vast selection of watches there. You know, all the way from $5,000 to, you know, $300,000. It was a really good event. People were really impressed by the stock levels and impressed by the kind of thing that we had. But I think Cruise just dropped the ball. Flannels and Cruise kind of just dropped the ball by underestimating the interest people would have had in the event, and only really invited, you know, 40 or 50 people. It could have been planned a little bit better on their end. And I think we could have definitely had way more people through the door had we planned it. But look, we did say after the event, look, we'll maybe try and do something again, blah, 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 so on and so forth. It never ended up happening. But listen, these big companies, that, you know, people that work in the store don't make the decisions. So there's a lot of people way above them that make these kind of decisions. So that's how it is.
Yeah. So how important is it to have relationship with traders, other kind of grey market dealers?
You know, trade relationships enable you to have a level of flexibility within your business, right? So I try my hardest to try and ensure that my working relationships with other traders are as good as they can be. Obviously, there's some times where someone pisses you off or lets you down, and, you know, that relationship then goes to pot. But
tarnishes a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, but most of the time, you know, I try and keep a very good relationship with traders. I mean, like today, a guy bought a new reference ceramic Daytona today. He kind of was humming and on about it, asked if he could sleep on it. It's a very hard watch to come by at the minute. The last couple of weeks, they've become really, really desirable. So the 126-500 reference, white dial and the black dial. So we sold a black dial last week, sold another black dial a couple of days ago, and we've got a white dial that we sold today. But they're really, really hard to come by. So I know the trader, he posted it in one of the groups, and I called him and just said, look, I've got a customer for that. Can't get a hold of him right now. Is there any chance you can hold it for me until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, just to try and get a hold of the customer to see if he's still interested in it? He was like, yeah, mate, no worries. Like, totally cool. Because he knows that I'm trustworthy. I'm 100%. He knows that I'm not just going to be holding it just for the sake of holding it. So he held it for me. I managed to get a hold of the customer. I managed to do the deal, complete on the deal this morning, and he held the watch for me until 10 o'clock. He even had someone else calling him, telling him that he would buy it, and he was good enough to me and trusted me enough and believed in our relationship enough to say, do you know what, look, I've told him that I'm going to hold it for him, so I'm going to stick to my word and hold it for him. So in that instance, that's when your trade relationships are super, super important, because if I didn't have that relationship with that guy, he would have just sold that watch, and then I've lost out on the profit that I've made from selling the watch, and then I'm not able to then find another one because they're so hard to come by at the moment. So that's when your trade relationships enable you to have some flexibility within your business, and you can kind of use your relationship with him to benefit you and your client's relationship, and vice versa. People use me as their relationship with me to deliver something here. Can you take this here for me? Can you do that here for me? So it's important to try and keep as good a reputation and as good a trade relationship as you can with as many people who are in the industry as you can, because you don't want a bad name.
No, and it's a two-way street as well. So you give that energy back to other dealers as well.
100%, mate. Listen, you never know what will come. You never know what will come out of any situation. It's like, look, I told you about the Kettle Kids cruise thing, and not to keep barring on about it, but, you know, obviously they posted on Instagram last night. I've known for a couple of weeks. You know, I made sure I sent them a text last night, just congratulating them, just to say, listen, guys, congratulations. I hope you really I hope you hit it out the park. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys bring to the high street. Like, it's not about being negative to watch each other. You know, everybody's trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, pushing good energy.
Everybody's trying to push in the same direction. Eventually, everybody's trying to get to the same goal. And, you know, if you're in a position where you're trying to be negative and trying to hinder other people's chances of doing it a little bit before you, or, you know, getting ahead of the game a little bit before you are, then it's just coming back to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's a negative energy, and eventually that karma will come back and bite you on the arse. So I'm just a very, very firm believer in just give out good positive energy, especially, you know, to people that are doing the same thing as you, because, you know, Instagram and social media and everything it can be all smoke and mirrors, and you know, behind the scenes, you know, people could be in positions where, you know, we've not really sold it. I mean, it was like us, look, November, December, it really wasn't that busy, and you need to try and make yourself look busy. So listen, a little bit of good energy can come back around and serve you well in the future. So I think, it's about being positive for sure.
And you said that everyone's kind of pushing towards the same goal. So what kind of goals, or what's your vision for the brand in like the next kind of 3 to 5 years?
I don't know. I think we've spoke about this before in terms of like brand vision. I'm not a massive one for setting big brand goals, because I think your goals can change on you know, a quarterly basis, depending on what opportunities cross your table. You know, someone might call you tomorrow, I've got this opportunity, and then all of a sudden your goals are completely different. I just want to be thought of as, you know, someone who does business properly, who looks after his clients, and who ensures that, you know, he gives stellar advice to people who are coming and buying watches and selling watches. And you want to be thought of when someone thinks, I'm going to sell my watch, I'm going to buy my watch, and you want to be, you know,
forefront
if
of
not
people's
the first,
minds.
you know, you want to be up there with, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 others who think, do you know what, I'm going to speak to them. And that recognition comes from social media, comes from YouTube, comes from all of that kind of exposure that I think is just what we need to try and plug for the next few years anyway. So I think you just want to be in the forefront of a client's mind when he thinks about selling or buying. And as long as that is true for the business, I don't think we need any other big goals.
Well, I mean, you've got an office in London, you've got an office in Glasgow, both work really well. Like, do you think a shop is like a next step, like somewhere later down the line, or are you quite happy with what we've got going on?
Do you know what? Like, look, it's, you know, I think it's something that every watch dealer, jeweler looks at eventually. It's a natural progression for someone to think, right, okay, I've done this for X amount of years now, maybe it's time for me to get a premises. You know, I've seen a lot of guys do really well from that. I've seen a lot of guys not do so well from that. It's a big risk. There's big costs involved in opening up
for sure
a store. There's overheads that maybe you didn't have to think about before. There's security costs. There's, you know, implementing all different types of things that you don't have to think about when you have 2 offices that are secured and guarded 24/7. So it's probably a logical next step for a business to get yourself to a point where you maybe have some high street recognition. Do I think the business needs that right now? No, I don't.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, if you had a retail space, then you hear the news of another kind of jeweler opening up a retail space in the same city, then you'd probably be a bit more worried than where you're currently at, right?
Yeah. Look, you just imagine it as a pie. You know, if you've got that amount of cut of the pie right now and someone else comes in who is completely new to that marketplace, without a doubt, regardless of how good or how bad their business model is, they're going to take some of that cut of the pie. Doesn't matter. So you need to be obviously...
would be squeaking a little bit.
I mean, look, like everyone's... You just need to make sure, and what I think from that, what I take from that is it just drives me to be better and pushes me to get up earlier and do more deals and try my best. And listen, that's all you can do. There's literally nothing else you can physically do, you know, unless you win the lottery tomorrow, which I'm banking on. But yeah, listen, it is what it is. I think it's a good thing for the city, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And where do you see? So that's kind of the 3 to 5 for WRW. Where do you see the next kind of like 3 to 5 years in like the grey market or retail market for watches?
It's a really difficult question to answer, because if you would have asked me that before COVID, you know, my prediction would have been miles out. You just don't know what's going to come around the corner. It's difficult to predict. Market's been roasting since the start of the year. You know, I think we've turned over just about the same as we did in January, and it's only now the 20th of February, so still a whole third of a month to go, which is really, really interesting. I think things are picking up a bit. I mentioned it before in the podcast, root beer's great value. I think loads of hype around these ceramic Daytonas.
I was about to say, Daytonas have been crazy for us this week.
Done quite a few of those. So like, market's in a good place. People are seeing value again in watches that they maybe didn't previously. And I think there's buyers, back in the market that we're missing for a long time. So so the market's in a good place. I think steady growth, barring any, outer worldly events like, another virus being released or like whatever. I think it would just be steady growth and year on year a little bit of growth, and if some cool discontinuations happen or some cool new products get brought out by any of the big brands, then you'll see a bit of a jump in the market. But that's about it, I think.
So we mentioned that Daytonas have been up this week. Anything piss you off this week?
I mean, a lot of things piss me off every week, but do you know what does piss me off? Like, I had a client who came to the office and he wanted to try on a Platinum Daytona that we have in stock.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, absolutely, like no problem, come in, try it on. He was like, I've got this watch I want to trade in. So I said, cool, like bring it with you to the office, no problem at all. We'll have a look at it and we'll see where we can go from there. So he came in on Monday, pulled up outside the office, didn't want to park his car because he couldn't find a parking space. So then you stood by his car, waited for him. He literally came into the office, sat down, he tried the watch on. It was like, oh yeah, I really like the watch. I'm a bit paranoid about my car. Can I reschedule to come back in on Wednesday and I'm going to bring the other watch back in with me? I said, yeah, no worries. Like, that's absolutely fine. Like, cool, just jump out. Let me know what time suits on Wednesday. And then Wednesday comes, 12:30 and the guy cancels and it's like...
Yeah.
And then I send him a message and he just blanks his phone, like, and it's just now like I just total like blank between now and then. And not that I'm worried about getting the sale or like I'm pushing to get the sale, but
it's just etiquette.
You're trying to give someone a good service and move things around in your week to give someone a bit of service, and it's just a bit bad manners when I think when customers just ignore you. And that he's not the first guy to do it this week, and he won't be the last.
No,
and it happens. It's just part of the business.
Yeah.
But when you meet someone face to face, you feel like that interaction.
You're a little bit closer to.
You feel like that interaction gives you a bit more weight in terms of when someone meets you face to face, they wouldn't just ignore you like from there on in. And for someone to just flat blank you, like after trying to give someone like good service. I don't know. I find it bizarre. Yeah. Like, if you're not coming or you're not interested, like no one's going to be offended.
Yeah, just
like,
say.
Yeah, it's fine, mate. Don't worry. Yeah. Like, I'm not banking on you buying that watch to like make sure I'm all right. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But just have some manners and just say like, yeah, like listen, look, like I'm not interested anymore. Cool. No, like it happens every day.
Yeah. It wasn't like it's a normal watch either. Like it's not a cheap watch.
Don't stress about it. It happens every day of life. Yeah. It's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you say that because I actually thought you were going to say about the car situation this week.
I mean, the car situation.
We decided to play bumper cars this week, mate, between myself and William.
Nah, you're taking half the blame. Absolutely. Josh got a new car in a week.
I got it 2 weeks ago. I had the car for 6 weeks.
You had the car 6 days.
6 days, sorry.
And I smashed into the side of it, completely tore the bumper, the headlight, and the grille right off it, and it looked like it had been hit by a truck.
Yeah, it looked bad.
But that was your fault for parking in a space that nobody ever parks in.
Yeah, I parked next to William in a space that I personally have never seen anyone park in.
I don't know why you parked in it either. You've never.
There was
parked
no
in
other
there,
spaces,
but
so I was
never
like, I'm
parked
just going
in
to chuck
there
it
for 5 years, mate.
No, I know, but I was like, I don't.
You thought I'll just chuck it in a neighbour's space that nobody will park there, just to ensure that it's fucking right in William's way when he drives out of this space. I mean, I should have seen it, but it's just.
Also, your car's
memory.
Your car's a lot higher up than mine.
It's just muscle memory. When I'm coming out of that space, I'm like, I'm just going. I just cut over that space because there's no one ever in it, and then your fucking wee motor was in it.
The noise of it was painful. We didn't talk to each other for 45 minutes on the drive to breakfast. And then we just laughed
about $3,000 for the parts as well.
Hey,
fucking joke. That was that week down the.
Don't laugh, you cry. So we ended up laughing. Right, let's freestyle a little bit. Want a wee test?
I'll have a test, yeah.
So I saw.
What's the test on though?
Bobby size. No, it's I saw a list come out this week and I was actually amazed by it. So it's the current top 10 highest paid athletes.
Sorry, I wonder if the people can hear that. Some guys obviously drilling upstairs. Anyway, top 10 what?
Highest paid athletes
Highest
currently.
paid athletes.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a few that are obvious, but there's a couple of left field ones. So took me off guard. Wondered if you would know. Well, see how many you get out of the top 10. And this is in pound.
Well, Ronaldo's got to be up there.
So Ronaldo is number 1 with 218 million. I think this is obviously as like an annual.
Haaland?
Erling Haaland is 18th.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Messi?
Messi is number 3 with
Messi's
103 million.
Okay. So he earns half.
So you got 2.
Less than half what Ronaldo earns.
Yeah.
Jesus. John Ram?
Yeah, so that was one that I didn't expect. Do you know
He's
where?
got 600 million, mate. He's got to be one of the highest paid.
Well, do you know where he is on the list?
Not got a clue.
Number 2.
So I've got the top 3.
Ronaldo, John Rahm, Messi. John Rahm with 161 million.
We've got to say it's got to be some NBA or NFL players.
Yeah, so number 4 is an NBA player.
LeBron.
Correct, at 99.8. So you've got the top 4.
And then there's got to be another NBA player, I'm going to say, after that.
You've got 2 football stars. I don't actually want to give you any clues, to be honest.
I actually don't know the rest.
You will. Come on, a couple more.
Football stars.
You've got the top 4. 6 more to get.
Can't believe Haaland's not up there.
18 as well.
God.
Here's another one,
plays
right?
in Saudi?
Tiger Woods is 13th.
Is it someone that plays in Saudi?
He's just moved to Saudi, yeah. And he's number 6.
No, it's not Henderson.
No. Jordan. Big Jordan Hen.
I was going to say. He's number 6.
Yeah. So
Iniesta, no?
No. So do you want me to just tell you?
Yeah, just tell me.
So number 5, we've got Kylian Mbappe with 99.2 million.
Sake, how did I forget him?
Number 6, you got Neymar. So he's the one who's just moved to Saudi at 96 million. Steph Curry, 78.5 million. Giannis Antetokounmpo, which is the NBA player.
Was that the really tall one?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No.
Giannis is not the really tall one. That's Wembanyama.
Yeah, he's also just got a Nike deal. So he's at number 8 of 70.2. Kevin Durant, 69.
Yeah, I knew he would be on there.
And Patrick Mahomes, obviously, of the Super Bowl.
Chiefs.
66.9 million. Did you watch Usher in the Super Bowl? Because you are a huge Usher fan.
I am a massive Usher fan.
I
remember when the Walkman speakers came out for the Walkman CD player and you could plug them into the speaker. That was when Usher's Confessions album got released. And I went on holiday and sat in my room the whole week and just listened to that album through the speakers. Massive Usher fan. I don't know. It's a mashup, innit? Like, you never really hear enough of one song to enjoy it. I don't know. It was average. I thought it was, but I feel like every Super Bowl performance is average.
No, I thought it was very good, I must say. I thought it was really good.
Not my kind of thing.
But we were on a drive on the way to, it might have been the Peterborough drive. We were in the car for a long time and I was just like, right, if there's one artist you could go lyric for lyric, who would it be? And it was Usher. I literally shuffled Usher, bar for bar, Usher.
Bar for bar.
Very impressed.
I could do a bar for bar. But I'm good with all lyrics like that.
Yeah, you are. Your memory is.
I could do most lyrics.
Fucking ridiculous.
I could hear a song once or twice and know the lyrics, don't I?
But I think that goes to show the power of kind of Saudi with the money, right? So obviously you got John.
I know the Usher lyrics.
No, I'm going back to the list of top 10. Freestyle from Usher. So no, that goes to show the power of, I suppose, the money of it, right? And we were talking a couple of days ago about the Super League. Like, if that ever came to anything, like 99.8% of the population were like so anti it.
The Football Super League. They tried to implement a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I personally thought it, to an element, it was a good idea, but it's not something that they should be doing and just completely separate. Right?
That drilling's doing man nothing, mate. You hear that?
I don't know if they can hear it.
Do you know what I mean? Like have we got a joiner running up the stair?
It's literally on top of us.
So annoying, mate. I can pure hear
I've got
it.
dust
so
coming on my shoulder. It's not dandruff, I promise. Yeah.
What were you asking me? Sorry.
Sorry.
The Saudi money.
Yeah, the
Super
Saudi
League.
money. Saudi.
I just always, I don't know. So obviously they were trying to pick like the top 2 or 3 teams from every league and put them into like this big league, right?
Yeah.
And then just leave all the leagues behind.
Yeah, but that was it. It's completely separate, and that's the future of football.
I just feel like, you know, what is the thing that they play? It's like the Club World Cup, Super Cup.
Yeah, so
Start of the year. It's always like Man City like win it every year, or like
with Man City against a team no one has ever heard of.
Do you know what I mean? Al Shabab or something like that. Do you know
I want a kebab. Yes, please.
And So anyway, the Super Cup that they do, I think, should just be, the winners of every league.
Yeah.
Put in to
of like the top how many leagues?
Top 16 leagues in the world. Put into a knockout style tournament where it's one leg, and so then any team would only really need to play 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
And then they just space that out during the season and the quietest weeks of the season, and then they have the final at the end of the season.
So, and that would be every season they do that.
Yeah, like every season, rather than having it kind of pre-season time where like most teams aren't that arsed or interested. Like actually make it a proper trophy,
but like a Champions League integrated
kinda
with
like
the league.
Champions League, but straight knockout, no group stage.
Yeah.
It's like 16 teams.
Savage.
Which I think would be really good.
Yeah.
Away goals, like since Champions League don't even have away goals anymore.
That's crazy.
Like get the away goals back.
Especially now because there's 0 goals.
In fact, you can't even have away goals, can you? Because obviously it's a one leg thing. So away goals don't make a difference. So just straight knockout. I think that's what they should do with the Super Cup.
Yeah. See, I thought you've got the World Cup every 4 years, you've got the Euros every 4 years. I think maybe like every 5 years they should do a full season of the top 16 teams, like you say, but then it runs like a league. So they do. So Man City will pull out of the Premier League for one season, and then that gives West Brom a chance to get into the Premier League.
For me, that would never work.
Maybe not.
The Premier League TV money, like, there's no way that a club or
Saudi would just be like, right, we'll pay you for what you're missing out, and West Brom get to enjoy season.
The Premier League turnover is almost the same as the NFL, man.
Yeah.
Like almost.
Yeah.
And so there's no way that teams are pulling out of that.
Yeah, maybe.
The TV money from the Premier League is outrageous.
Obviously hasn't really worked with Liv though, right? Liv was that to the PGA, and it's just, I personally don't think I've watched
Liv
the
Golf
event.
Liv Golf are doing a hostile takeover of the PGA Tour at the moment, which is that's just effectively what that is. They are the ones with all the money. They're bullying the PGA Tour into a corner where they're then going to have to merge because they've lost all their players.
Yeah.
And nobody's watching anymore because it's not really the top 25 players playing in the tournaments that aren't the majors. It's just the people that are eligible to play because they still play in the PGA Tour. So, and it's also affecting Ryder Cup as well. So
it's weird though. It puts golf in it puts them in a box in the corner, right? Because it's like no one really wants to watch Liv. Like it's booming music every tee shot, but it's got the best golfers.
But it doesn't have the best camera work either.
No, it doesn't. Yeah,
do you know the thing is like about? Like, it's a new organisation. They'll change that. It'll become as good as the PGA Tour eventually.
Right, I hope so.
They don't play enough events. The PGA Tour's on every week. Obviously, all the top players don't play every week, but they like to play in the big events like the Players Championship. You've got the Arnold Palmer stuff.
Yeah.
You've got the majors. Obviously, to play in a major, you need to be eligible or you need to have an exemption if you've won the major before. So it's interesting. They're just backing the PGA into a corner by saying we've got more money than you, so we're just going to keep stealing your players until you fold and eventually agree to merge with us, and then all the players can just get back to playing normal regular golf, and all the fans can be happy to watch it.
If that does happen, John Rahm's the only one laughing at that point. He's just secured the bag and he goes back to doing what he
Tyrrell Hatton just signed for like 50 million or something.
But still, John Rahm is like...
John Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton are... John Rahm's Masters champion, man.
Yeah.
He has potential.
Tyrrell's got no green jacket.
He has the potential to win 10 majors.
Yeah.
Tyrrell Hatton really doesn't, I don't think.
No.
So he's the poster boy, and they're not throwing that kind of money at everyone.
No, they're not.
The problem with Rory is that he set his stall out too early.
Yeah, I agree.
So they couldn't... I mean, I watched the Overlap podcast where he was interviewed by like Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, Roy Keane and Ian Wright, and he said that he's never had an offer from Saudi. Whether I believe that or not, I'm not entirely sure, but
surely not.
He set his stall out so early that they couldn't have offered him because he would have just knocked it back. Had they said, we've got $1 billion for you moving, I think they offered Tiger. I've heard about that, but if
Tiger doesn't need the money.
Nah, like his legacy's like forever.
Yeah.
He's at the point in his career. Had they caught Tiger in
10 years ago,
95, 96,
even 10 years ago,
when he was in his pomp, then he would have been, it's a different story. But I don't know. It's interesting. As I say, it's just a hostile takeover of a golfing tour that arguably needed a little bit of a shake up anyway. Because
it needed something to happen.
They were so stuck in their old ways that they needed something to come in and shake it up. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, time will tell. I don't love the way Liv is played. I don't love the team element of it. I think the quicker golf gets back to what it used to be and everyone can play, and the top players are playing in these big tournaments every week. That's what golf needs.
Yeah, and talking about guys having a lot of money, right? So if John's 600, what would the price on like Rory's head be? What would the price be on Tiger's, do you think?
You know, the thing is, like, Rory's never won the Masters, right? Mm-hmm. At least I don't think, anyway.
I don't think he has.
I don't think he has. He's won a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, when he was younger, he hasn't won for a few years, like a big tournament. But I don't know. Does he get more than 600 million guaranteed?
Yeah, I think he'll get.
I think Rory is the poster boy for the PGA Tour, so he probably garners a lot more in terms of the fan base that Rory brings. Then.
Yeah, I think he was the spokesperson really for the PGA.
Yeah, he then garners more because of the amount of fans that he will bring. It's almost like Ronaldo signing for a club, and then they bank on the shirt sales that they're going to get off the back of that. It's almost kind of similar to that. How many more people? How many more eyeballs is Rory going to bring every week to that? And it's going to be a hell of a lot because he's arguably the next poster boy for the PGA Tour. I don't know what, I mean, I don't know, $1 billion, something like that, 700 million. Like, it's just numbers that you just are unable to fathom or don't make any sense. You know, he's now all of a sudden became the highest paid, the number 2 highest paid athlete ever.
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
Just from one deal.
Yeah.
So, like, those kind of numbers, and golfers will be going like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one thing for loving PGA Tour golf, and there's another thing for a guy coming and going, I'll give you 600 million. Do you know what I mean? Your love for the PGA Tour would certainly quickly go out the window.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Oh, for sure.
So.
And then Sunday Red, that came out, images actually came out
Tiger's
this week.
new brand, right?
Yeah, so
Tiger obviously left Nike after X amount of
years. Which is mind-blowing, to be honest.
There was only one option. He was obviously bringing out his own brand.
I know, but to even leave Nike like this late in Tiger's life. Like,
it's obviously partnered up with TaylorMade. Maybe he wanted to, maybe he approached Nike and Nike didn't fancy it.
That's mental.
Obviously, he had the Tiger Woods line with Nike. He's given up that logo now. He's just like, doesn't care about it anymore.
It's just like a Tiger logo. What do you think of it?
The TW logo or Sunday Red?
Just Sunday Red.
I seen a thing about him saying in the press conference that it was like the law of threes, so sun 3, day 3, red 3.
Oh, right.
So it was like 3 threes. Don't know what significance that's got, but I don't know. It was honestly it was a bit of a flop. I thought. I honestly thought it could have been
had the potential to be huge.
Sunday Red. I don't like the logo.
No, I don't like the logo either.
But that's the lines on the logo represent the majors he's won.
Yeah, I mean, I do think there's a hole in the. I
really don't like the logo.
No, I
really don't like it.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
I don't know if that's just because you're used to seeing Tiger and Nike though. That then it's a bit of a shift to see him as something else. I like the brand. I think Sunday Red's cool. It could have just had a better logo.
Yeah, I get that.
And then they could have. I don't know.
But there's a hole in the market for good golf wear, right?
Is there?
I think so.
I don't know about that. Adidas and Nike just take over, don't they?
But that's what I'm saying. There needs to be like something else, I think.
But it'll be a similar price point.
Yeah, but just maybe make it more swaggy. Like you've obviously got more collaborations happening.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Melbourne, when that grows.
I mean, I just seen Ryan Ruffles playing Melbourne now. Obviously, Jason Day plays Melbourne now. It's a kind of more vintagey style, oversized golf wear, which I think is very, very cool. You can't be a 36 handicapper with the Melbourne gear on. Do you know what I mean? You
have to be good.
You need to be a single figures, otherwise, if you rock up to the course with a Melbourne string vest on over your t-shirt, do you know what I mean? And a bucket hat on, you've got no chance.
Off the
but the Sunday Red stuff, listen, it'll do well. Obviously, Tiger's got die-hard fans all over the world, so without a doubt, it'll fucking sell out.
And then his shoes are what? Still, it's FootJoy. It's not Nike.
No, it's Sunday Red stuff.
It is Sunday Red.
Yeah, Sunday Red. This whole thing, Sunday Red. It's obviously partnered with TaylorMade, so. They're obviously making the apparel for him. Let down a little bit on the launch. Didn't love the logo, but I think they'll bring out some cool stuff eventually.
And we're going through kind of our final. Well, we're still trying to get it sorted, but WRW will be having a golf day hopefully this summer.
Yeah, we teased it last year. I just didn't have time to organise it last year. Obviously, you're on board now, so I think you're going to take charge of trying to organise it and pull everything together and collate all the details. So we're going to try and get it done in the summer. Although the golf dates are filling up in the summer, we've just got Loch Lomond booked for the...
Came in this morning.
Yeah, we done a little bit of a favour for one of my clients in Glasgow, and he's kindly taken us up to Loch Lomond Golf Club on
April 28th or something.
April the 28th or April the 19th or
I
something.
might shit my pants on the first tee.
Yeah, so he looks like a good golfer.
Yeah,
I've never
does.
played golf with him before. Yeah, I think he played Scottish schools when he was younger. We're also going up with one of my pals who's a golfer as well, Connor O'Neill.
He's like a pro, right?
Connor O'Neill's a pro. He's off like
Ah,
+5.
brilliant. It's going to be fucking terrible.
He'll be off +5 or +6. So listen, it'll be a good day. Listen, long time between now and then. You can get your handicap down.
I don't know.
Mate, I've not picked up a golf club the other day. Although I was swinging the golf club in my bedroom the other day, and I thought
It only took out 3 lampshades.
and I was having a wee shadow swing in the lift earlier, wasn't I?
You were.
It felt right.
Loosey goosey.
I just felt really in sync. I felt like I was in the right position. You know, it just felt good. Wait till you put a ball in a club.
I'll tell you what, we will get a video
Shanksville,
of
Tennessee.
us going to the driving range or whenever we decide to get on the course on the first tee box. Be just seeing how we get on. It'll be a big old slice for me, I think.
I think it'll be good. So I'm looking forward to that. But the golf season's filling up. So I think we're going to do that. When's that going to be? June, July time?
Yeah. I think at the same time, a lot of courses, we don't just want to be rocking up to your usual course. We want to get a good course booked, and they're filling up. So trying to find dates that align with everyone. So push on to, you're pretty Scottish, you know that?
Yeah, born here. Parents are Scottish.
Yeah, were you born and raised Glasgow?
Born and raised in Glasgow, yeah.
How did you find growing up here?
Loved it. Great time. I grew up before phones, so...
What part of Glasgow was it?
South side.
South side.
Yeah.
You're still south side.
Grew up before phones. Loved it, mate. Great time.
Yeah.
Spent my weekends hanging about in the East End.
Hanging about in tune.
Mate, great. I loved growing up. Like, growing up was great, mate.
Yeah.
Just kids just don't have that experience anymore of going out. Somebody would chat at your door at like 9:30 in the morning. You'd be out from 9:30 till your dinner. And then you would go home and have dinner, then you go back out again. Like there was just no such thing as staying in the house. Like, you were out every minute of every day.
What were you doing there? Like, what's there to do?
Oh, when I hung about with my cousins at the East End. Oh, mate, what was there not to do?
Is that where the
Barrows
was? Is that the Barrows?
So it's not far from the Barrows. The Barrows is the Calton. I kind of hung about in Duke Street when I was younger, which is East End of Glasgow. There was like hills in the back. We used to play bulldogs in the back, which I can't really even remember. There would be like 2 or 3 bulldogs like in the middle, and you had to like run past them.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we used to have that, but like literally all the kids in the whole of the flats would like play in the back garden. So it'd be like 100 kids.
No. How did you used to rank in the bulldog?
I was young. I was always younger than everyone.
So you were getting pounded.
So I was getting. We used to have conker fights. There was like mad conker fights, but like aggressive conker fights. When the conkers came, but it was pretty aggressive. Like the old ones versus the young ones, and then we used to do. Then there was like a place called the Rapper, like a football pitch. They had like tire swings. They had table tennis, a ball pit.
Sounds like a vibe.
They had like a bark bit where you used to like jump. I don't know. There was loads. You used to play like not hide and seek, but it was called like 2 Mania or 3 Mania. I can't even remember. We used to do that, hang about the streets. Then I obviously started boozing when I was like 15, so then we used to go and drink. And then Crown Point opened, which was like a big football bit. They had tennis courts, football. It was like a massive 3G AstroTurf pitch, like amazing. We used to go there all the time. Growing up was great. Kids just don't do that anymore. Like, I speak to kids nowadays and they're just like on their phones and all that.
Yeah.
To iPads, phones, tellies at the weekend. Like, see that growing up in those and getting tested in those environments by people you don't know, and you know, that's just invaluable experience for kids these days. And
iPads have taken over.
Do you know what I mean? Like
you go to a restaurant and you see a family of 5. The 3 kids are on.
Shut them up, give them his iPad.
Yeah, the 3 kids are on iPads. Mum and dad are just there talking amongst themselves.
That's how you grow up. That's how you learn to speak to people. That's how you learn to treat people. That's how you learn life skills. That's how you learn like how to be flying streetwise, and you know what you can get away with and what you can't get away with, and how you can be cheeky to that guy but you can't be cheeky to that guy. Like that's how you grow up. That's how you get life experience. Kids these days are 17, have never had any life experience. Do you know what I mean? Straight out, all they've been doing is looking at an iPad for the last 10 years.
Can he talk to somebody?
Listen, that's the best upbringing you can get is an upbringing. And I think when I eventually have kids, I'll try and give them an upbringing that's like
similar to yours.
Get out and go and meet your pals and go and do things.
Yeah,
like, that just doesn't exist
anymore.
anymore.
Be a very well-dressed child you'll have.
Yeah, I'll be a well-dressed kid.
Head to toe drip. Well, let's test how Glaswegian you are. We should get like theme tunes in, like a soundboard.
Right, okay, let's go.
So you're going to have another test, right?
How are you going to test how Glaswegian are?
So I've got some Glaswegian words here.
Oh, right, okay.
Now...
This will be funny, hearing you pronounce them.
I also, I'm got to try and read these.
You can't pronounce them in a Scottish accent, though. You need
No,
to,
I won't. I won't, because I don't do a
accent.
very good Glaswegian accent.
Okay,
Right, you ready?
Yeah, on you go.
First word, dolly.
Like daft, like being stupid.
Foolish, idiotic, or stupid, correct?
Yeah.
A doin.
What?
A doin?
Doin?
A doin. Wait, let me... It's at the top.
A doing.
Oh, yeah?
A doing, like somebody getting a doing, like getting battered.
Oh, yeah, that was...
Like,
oh, God, these are...
he got a doing, like he get battered.
Yeah, that's it.
Basically what that means.
In. B-E apostrophe N.
Ben. Like, that means like, you would say like, oh, where's the remote? You'd be like, Ben, the kitchen, like in the kitchen, or like...
the location of an item.
Aye.
Yeah. Clatty.
Oh, like just like minging, like they're clatty, like they're dirty.
Taps aff.
I don't know. People just say that when the weather's good.
It's just,
Like,
you walk around, it's all you hear in the summer.
It's like 8 degrees in Glasgow, guys are running about with their tops on.
Taps aff.
Roofs down, their cars and all that.
Pish.
Pish, like just shite.
I tell you what, that is a word I use a lot.
Crap. That's what that means.
Warmer.
Like a bit like somebody that's like busy or like annoying. You would say like a warmer.
Yeah.
Aye.
Done a bunk.
Like ran away. Like he's done a bunk, like he's bolted,
You're pretty
like, ran
Glaswegian.
away. Aye.
Hoaching.
Hoaching, like I don't know. You would say somebody's hoaching, like like they're minging.
I'm actually picking ones I can read.
Or hoaching could be like they're like, I don't know, like
busy or full of.
Yeah, busy. Like
swally.
Like drinking, like swallowing.
Yeah,
like getting drunk.
Mad way it.
Mad way it just means like he's drunk or like she's drunk.
Bolt.
Bolt's like bolt, like fuck off.
Gallus.
Somebody that's maybe like walks with swag, like a bit like full, not full of himself, but like it's got a bit about him. Like he's quite gallus, like confident.
Yeah, like, you're pretty gallus, aren't you?
Think so?
I think so. Ding head. I think it means
dingied.
No, I don't know.
Me. Aye, dingied. Like. So if you text me and I never get back to you, you'd be like, "Oh, he's dingied me." Like just ignored me.
Fuck's sake. Gain me the boat. You're just taking a piss, innit?
Gain me the boat. Like,
yeah.
That's what your missus says to you, innit? You're giving me the boat.
Get right up, yeah.
Get it right up.
I'm not doing these anymore. That is fucking terrible.
Get it right up. Yeah.
But from what I can tell, you got all of them.
You can gallop, but get it right up.
Yeah. But it was a bit of a culture shock coming from Surrey to Glasgow.
Mate, I remember used to speaking to you, like, I'm moving to Glasgow. I used to say, you don't.
Yeah, don't. You've already completed it. You're down there.
Why?
We're all trying to move down
Everybody's
there.
trying to go from here to there, mate. Not the opposite way about.
Yeah. But it's like little things. So it was like down the road, you kind of grow up knowing that you can have like 2-3 pints and drive. Maybe I shouldn't be promoting this on the old pod, but that was just like a thing.
That's obviously not scientific. You can have 2 or 3 pints.
Nah, but that was like...
It was like a couple of drinks, isn't it?
Yeah, a couple of drinks.
Aye.
But here it's like completely zero tolerance.
Yeah, but that didn't used to be everything. Like now it's zero tolerance.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be like that. And also what people are shocked about when they go down south is you can't buy alcohol.
Yeah, so that's it. So
10 till 10. Is it 12 till 10 or 10 till 10?
Down the road you can buy alcohol.
No, I know down the road you can buy it.
Here it's 10 to 10. So between the hours of 10 a.m. and 10 p.m.
you can go into
anywhere and
so
buy
if you
drink.
go to a supermarket down here after 10 o'clock at night or before 10 o'clock at night, the booze aisles are all cornered off.
They're like chained up.
Aye, they're like chained up.
I can't quite believe it. There's like fences around them with like...
Which then backfires because see what they do is... So then when there's like a big old firm on, Celtic Rangers will do an early kick-off at 12 o'clock. So then it means that they go, oh, well, people can only drink for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But actually what people end up doing is getting up at 4 a.m, getting absolutely plastered in their house, then going to the pub at 10 o'clock where they're already steaming and then going to the game.
Yeah.
So Like, rather than just going...
There's ways around it. They're always going to find ways around it.
That's what, do you know what I mean? It's just stupid.
And you also can't have like offers on alcohol. So like there is no happy hour up here.
Nah, it used to be...
Everyone is miserable hour.
3 bottles of wine for a tenner. Like, you can't do that anymore. So they just now price them at £3.33 each. And then do you know what I mean? You can get a bottle of wine for £3.33, and then you buy 3 of them, and it's £9.99.
But you talked about it being like obviously like old firm. That means obviously the Glasgow Rangers be like Glasgow Celtic or vice versa.
The drinking culture is completely different in Scotland than it is in England.
Yeah,
people drink in England to be sociable. People drink in Scotland to get drunk.
To get pish.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
People go out after work, have a couple of beers. If that was a guy for Glasgow, he'd be out after work. You can't have 2 beers.
You can't have.
It's 10 or none.
Oh, aye.
It's, do you know what I mean? You're either getting drunk or you're sober. There's no and that's still to this day.
Mental.
I can't, I have 2 beers. I'm like, I can't wait to get drunk.
Yeah.
Whereas like down the road, people go a couple of beers after work, go home. I'm like, as soon as I get that wee jingly feeling about being drunk, I'm like, oh, get me another beer.
And I actually remember
there's just no off switch for Glaswegian people.
It's even like the clubs though. I know you bang on about the clubs being shit, but the first ever night out, I went on with you. You took me out. I hadn't actually moved here yet, but we went out on Halloween. We went to, well, I thought we were going to a bar because I hadn't been to a club for quite a few years. We get to the club, huge queue down the road. Everyone's dressed up. Me and you were just like dressed like we're going out for a couple of beers. You obviously get us in, and then I remember there like lights being like hung from the ceiling. I was just like, what the fuck? There's nowhere down the road like this. And you were like, oh, this is nothing. We then go to the back, and there was like a big festival stage, and like everyone is outside. I mean, when the weather's great, there's like no better place to be than.
That's close now, that club, but.
That was amazing. One of the best nights of my life.
You enjoyed it, didn't you? Yeah. But the clubbing scene in Glasgow is pretty non-existent at the moment. There isn't actually like a real club.
Nah, and the music is diabolical.
The music, mate, don't get me started on the fucking
music.
I don't know where they find the DJs, mate. I don't. Who?
Pop World? Yeah.
You want a DJ that's young, the same age as your punters?
Yeah.
Do you not want a DJ that's the same age as the people who come through the door?
For sure, 100%.
So they can play the kind of music that everybody likes. You walk into a place and they're playing like Rihanna from 2010.
Yeah.
I mean, decent tune, but fuck me.
I'm not trying to listen to it right now.
I'm not trying to listen to it when I'm trying to get drunk in a club. Do you know what I mean? Like, somebody play some Don Toliver or something.
Not a thing. But going back to it, we were obviously talking about, I was talking about the whole Rangers and Celtic thing. So you don't have to give away what side you are. We don't want to lose, viewers.
I'm not a huge, die-hard football fan anyway.
No, but it is like
it doesn't make or break my week, basically.
No, but it is a mental rivalry up here. Crazier than probably as I thought it was going to be. So it's like if Celtic are home, for instance, there's no away fans at the moment. If Rangers are home, there's no Celtic fans there. But then it's also weird because during the day there'll be best pals, or the day before the people will be best pals, and then when it's Old Firm, don't talk to each other. Yeah,
or they just wind each other up a bit.
Yeah,
the Old Firm.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty bad.
Yeah.
It is an intense rivalry.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most intense in the world. I think Gerrard speaks about it.
I would agree with that.
When he was at Rangers, he obviously says that the rivalry is insane and the Old Firms are intense, and Roy Keane speaks about it as well.
Yeah.
And when he was at Celtic,
there's nowhere
says that the rivalry is intense, and anybody that's played in the Old Firm always says that it's
hostile.
It's charged atmosphere.
Yeah.
It
is mental.
They need to get the opposing fans back in the away stadiums, though. I think it kills it.
It's only 2,500 though. Even when they get the allocation, I think it's like
it was 800 recently, and then they just decided to have none.
It's almost pointless having the 800 though.
So I know they need to sort that out between themselves. Yeah. It's just ridiculous and childish. You need to have away fans. It makes the atmosphere.
Yeah, is absolutely nuts, and they play each other about 6 times a season.
You've obviously got Scottish Cup, League Cup, and then the league. So. You can find there's sometimes quite a lot of Old Firms.
Yeah. And there's also a divide between.
And there's 4 Old Firms in the league, and then
2. Chances are they're going to play each other in the cup.
A couple of other times.
So. And there's also a divide between the 2 main cities. So you've got Edinburgh on the east coast, you've got Glasgow being the west coast.
Well, Glasgow's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, but they don't like each other.
What, Edinburgh people and Glaswegian people?
Yeah.
Just 2 different kind of people, right? Edinburgh people are brought up with a little bit more exposure to culture, I think, than Glasgow people because of the surroundings and where they live, and it's a lot more historical, and it's the capital.
Get a lot of tourists, so a lot of different...
A lot of tourists, a lot of Americans, everybody raves about being Edinburgh and they speak with a different accent. So Glaswegian people are always a bit more rough and ready than people from Edinburgh, certainly. But obviously there's exceptions to that. But yeah, it's not that we don't like each other. It's just people from Edinburgh would be like, oh,
but you can like
you're
ban
from
people
Glasgow.
out. So it's like up our stuff. Like when we turn up to golf, it becomes
Yeah.
like if he's playing golf on the West Coast, even the staff are like bamming him up. It's quite funny to see.
But he's not really. I mean, even though he's from Edinburgh, he's not really that.
No.
Like he doesn't sound like he's from Edinburgh.
No. Well, everyone sounds like they're from Scotland to me.
Sounds like a wee mouse. Same height as a wee mouse as well.
He watches the pod. So.
Wee Stuart Little.
Yeah, we sure will. Can't wait to beat him at golf soon. Do you wear a kilt?
No.
No? Rather just do a suit?
I wore a kilt to my communion when I was young and couldn't wait to get the thing off. So, don't know, I never understood it.
No,
I mean, I get it. Obviously, people do it, but...
It's quite nice to have your balls free for a night, though.
Do you know what I don't get when American people do it?
Or English people.
Like, what you wearing a kilt for? People in Scotland don't even... When people say, oh, what's haggis taste like? I say, I've not got a clue, mate. Don't want to eat that.
It's
shite.
fucking terrible.
No interest in eating that.
Yeah.
Thanks. So...
But you do like iron brew.
I do like iron brew, but the kilt thing, I won't wear a kilt at my wedding, I'll wear a suit.
Yeah. Do you have a tartan? Like a family?
Don't even know if I want to get married, to be honest. Don't know. Mum and Dad aren't married, so it's a bit of a waste of money, I think.
Right. Not a good like soiree, though. Celebration.
No, I think if I was ever going to get married, it's like 10, 20 people, intimate.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Something nice, like family involved.
As long as you got a good suit on.
Not like 150 people at your wedding, 50 of which are like attached to you because they're somebody's such and such's niece or something like that, and you're needing to pay, fucking 300 quid a head for, somebody's nephew who's 18 who's just going to come and get absolutely mad with it at the wedding. Drop me out, do you know what I mean? I'll just go with my family somewhere and have a nice wee ceremony somewhere and get married. I actually don't even know if I want to get married anyway, so it's not even that.
Okay then.
God knows.
The last bit for Scotland was Scotland's beauty. So it is mad that you can be, because it's with London, right? You get 45 minutes out the city. It's like the countryside, which isn't really the countryside.
Cotswolds, I suppose.
But like if you go 20 minutes out of Glasgow, you're up at Loch Lomond, where it's just like fucking hills and mountains, giant lochs.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
It is amazing.
Being from here, you take it for granted.
Yeah,
it's definitely a cool place.
Yeah, it blew my mind.
It blew your mind quite a lot. You like this? You like all that boring shit? Don't you?
I do.
Don't even get me started on your life, mate. Honestly, it drives me insane.
Laugh of a 75-year-old man,
mate. Honest to God, you're going to get. I've told you this before, mate. You're going to get 40 years old and say, "I've got no stories to tell my kids because I was a boring, lazy bastard when I was young. I never left the house."
That's true.
You need to get a bit more cool stories to tell your kids.
He wants me to
mate.
get out of the house a wee bit.
How are you going to impart any wisdom on your children?
I've got some cool stories, mate.
Oh, mate, you've reused that Virgil one 600 times. I'm sick of hearing about it. That one time I walked past Pharrell and took a picture of him. Like, what are you going to tell that to your kids? Oh, my dad's cool.
Pharrell was actually my best pal.
Pharrell probably still look younger than you by the time you're telling your kids that.
He's looking younger than me now. Need a wee bit of Botox.
Anyway.
Ghosts. Do you believe in ghosts? It's a bit random, but...
Nah, I don't know. I believe there's something going on up there. Like, all of this couldn't have came from nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I do think? The chimp thing. Obviously, we're supposed to have evolved from apes.
Right.
So then why are all the apes not evolved?
Yeah, interesting.
Maybe that could be a really stupid thing to say, because there'll obviously be some scientific reason for that.
Yeah.
But surely if they could evolve to be a human, they would all evolve.
I've never really thought about it, to be honest.
I just thought about it there, to be honest. So I never even thought that through or had a chance to Google it. So that might be one of the most stupid things I've ever seen.
No, I think I'm with you. I think I back you on that. But you don't believe in ghosts per se?
No, I believe there's something going on, like somewhere. Like all of this couldn't have came from nothing.
I mean, there's things that happen that, I mean, even like I see videos online that is like, it's unexplainable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, like I was telling you that story the other day. What's something that happened to me? Like, do I go into it or is it a bit long-winded?
Don't know when you tell me.
Well, not the one. No, I'm kidding. It's the one about I got that message.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've got about 10 minutes left, so maybe not. But how long are we on? Does he got the timer up?
We're on 53.
Yeah, we've not got
49.
time for Josh's ghost stories.
But I do think there's things.
Maybe we'll make you a wee segment, Josh's ghost stories.
Yeah,
you can tell them.
I'd quite like.
You must have quite a lot of ghost stories. You're never fucking out the house, mate. So.
I am a ghost. That's what it is.
You're haunting your own house. That's what's happening in there.
Well, drop a comment below if you want to hear my ghost stories.
It's actually quite a good ghost story, but I just don't know if I've got time for it.
Nah, you're right.
Especially at the speed you tell stories.
That's true, yeah. We'll kind of start wrapping things up. Lottery.
Have we spoke about watches? A wee bit.
Yeah, a wee bit in Glasgow.
A wee bit. Baselworld coming up. Let's be interesting to see what comes from that. People think the Coke's
you've spoken
coming.
about Baselworld like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, obviously Rolex have just released. Well, they've put in for a patent for the Coke bezel. I don't know if that's a bit of a red herring.
When did the Coke get discontinued?
Would have been early 2000s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Came on the old style GMT, so different actual shape to the new style GMTs.
I don't prefer it to the Pepsi, but I do.
They've obviously done that thing with the patent for the new black red bezel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whether that's a bit of a Trojan horse or a red herring to throw a bit of, I don't know. I don't know if they'll bring it out this year. A lot of people think they're going to bring out John Mayer Platinum Green Dial. The fact is, nobody actually knows.
No.
So.
And
speculation, I'm not interested in it.
When we heard like 2-3 months ago people being like, oh, Pepsi's going to be discontinued, I thought it was a load of bollocks. There's no way it could happen. But actually, seeing the price of Pepsi's at the moment, maybe it is happening.
No, mate, no, because nobody
knows. Or is this
knows.
just what happens?
Just nobody knows. Nobody knows, mate. Well, too far away from what's happening to know. So no one's got a clue.
And then I saw that day date that got released, and it had like a violin. It's like a green, yellow gold or rose gold, and it's got like a green dial.
It's like an
violin.
enamel dial.
Yeah, enamel. Yeah.
Some orchestra.
But that's weird timing for it to come out. Right?
Some orchestra they partnered with.
Yeah.
Philharmonic or something like that, probably.
Yeah.
What's my take on that? Yeah, cool. They'll probably only release a few thousand of them.
Are they already out or no?
Yeah, they'll be expensive.
high
Probably only
retail.
released in some market somewhere, like Asian market or something like that. Be collectible in 50 years' time.
Yeah. And what really is Baselworld, right? What is
Watches and Wonders. It's a massive jewellery show where historically brands bring out their new models and show them to.
It's like an Apple thing, like
all
when
the
Apple
clients.
Steve Jobs goes on stage.
I mean, mate, it's humongous.
Yeah.
Like,
how'd you get an invite?
Well, you can buy a ticket to go.
We should go.
The public are invited to it. It's massive. Brands spend millions of pounds on their setups and stuff like that there, and there's loads of stuff there. I've been before.
Do they release what gets discontinued? What
Nah,
is
so
coming out, or?
typically what they do is just take the watches that get discontinued off the website. So then they leave it up to you to figure it out. So they wouldn't say like this and this has been discontinued. But what they do obviously at Watches and Wonders is they have all the new watches behind a curtain, and then they'll open the curtain at 10 o'clock on the Thursday, and then the show's on for the weekend.
Yeah.
So like you get a clear picture of what's coming out and what's and what's that potentially replacing.
It'd be good to go. I'd be quite interested.
See, the thing is, mate, it's so busy. Can you imagine how many people are at a Rolex stand trying to take a picture of the first watch?
Yeah,
What you do is you just wait, and they all get
Oh,
posted
so
on
they're
social
like
media.
watches there. Can people buy watches or?
Nah. Then
It's just a showcase.
just a
Bit
show
of an
and tell.
expo.
Just a show and tell, basically. And then you just wait, and then 5 minutes later, all the pictures get uploaded to Instagram. You just steal a couple of them, post them, and it just makes it look like you're there anyway.
Yeah.
So
true.
save yourself all the hassle of going.
And then I'm going to freestyle here. I had a dream the other week that I won the lottery, right? So let's say we went to bought a couple of tickets. Mm-hmm. Tonight
I've got 10 tickets in my bag that I'm not checking.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you're a psychopath for going
listen,
in. I like going in and buying a ticket, though. I don't like doing it on the phone. I feel like...
Nah, I know what you mean.
It makes it real.
I know what
like
you mean.
I'm more invested into the lottery if I've got a ticket.
I know.
But if you won the lottery tonight, right? Are you telling people or are you
How much am I winning?
Bags, bruv.
A lot.
I'm talking about 150 mils.
Am I telling people? No, but there would be signs. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't take a genius to figure it out.
Yeah.
If I was in pieces and caviar every morning,
Peace.
do you know what I mean? Like, it would be pretty obvious.
So you would let the world see it, but you wouldn't.
Nah, I would delete all my social media.
Yeah, I think I would.
I would delete all my social media and elope to some faraway country with my entire family.
Where would you live? Do you think?
I'd live in Europe for the summer, and I would live in some hot country for the winter.
Yeah.
Not Dubai though.
Yeah. See, I think I would have a base in London, like a
Yeah, I mean, you would have
house
houses all over the place. 150 million, mate. You do what you want.
House in London. I'd think I'd like to spend the majority of my time in California, and then I would. Would you buy a jet?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I'd buy a jet either. Would you buy a yacht?
I don't think you'd have enough money. No, I wouldn't buy a yacht either. No.
Oh, maybe I'm just not very opposed to this market.
Well, why would you? You wouldn't have enough money.
How much is a jet?
Don't know. It depends how big you want to go.
What watch are you buying? You obviously don't want to go ham if we're talking about maybe it not being that significant.
I'd probably buy my top three, which would probably run me a 1.5. Then I'd be happy.
So what watches are we talking about?
AP 39mm yellow gold perpetual
calendar.
calendar skeleton, which is discontinued. That's
Your
probably
favourite watch.
a couple of $100,000. That is my favourite watch. I'd have 6701 just as a daily wearer. Then I would have a 2701, which is the Rafa Grey, which is like something stupid, like 18 grams or something like that. That's about $600,000 or something like that. And then I would have a 5711P, which is the Platinum 5711 release. That's very limited.
Yeah.
Some anniversary ones.
But
But like a diamond
buy-
baguette dial, Platinum Nautilus. That's what I would have. But we're not winning the lottery, so let's stop talking about things that aren't going to happen.
No. Cars, though?
Cars.
Be interested in the cars?
I love cars, mate.
Yeah.
You know I love cars.
We were having quite a funny conversation the other day, and it was just
First thing I'd go and do is buy an F12 TDF.
Yeah.
Favourite car.
You've spoken about it on the pod. If you could have
I'd have gunmetal grey with tan. One of my clients has actually got an 812 Superfast with Tom. He might watch this actually. He's got an 812 Superfast with the tanny beige Alcantara interior.
Give us a shot, Tom.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
If you could have a garage, right? Yeah. We're talking about having that kind of money in that kind of budget, right? Let's say 4 cars. So you want something that kind of ticks a couple of boxes.
Okay.
You've already given us 1. 3 more.
Ferrari 250 short wheelbase.
2 Ferraris in the garage, right?
Which is a vintage Ferrari 250 SWB. Beautiful car.
If you're getting a 4x4.
I don't want to keep doing Ferrari, but new Purosangue is so nice. I'd have an F12 TDF. I'd have that vintage one that I just mentioned. I would have SLS Black Series, which is probably my favourite car ever. And then I would have a daily, maybe a Cullinan Mansory body kit on it.
I mean, is there any
that is like a fuck you garage, isn't it?
Is there any crazy cars
and then I'd have a Ducati Diavo X as like a
Ducati?
Yeah, Diavo X.
Like a motorbike?
Yeah, just as like
Would you fuck have a motorbike?
I would, mate. I love motorbikes.
You got a license?
No.
Do you remember we went to that watch show?
No, mate. I tried to get a license before, and I went to because they're so cheap, mate. They're like £200 a month.
Yeah.
And you can get like the top of the range
it's
one.
Like 20 quid to fill up a tank as well.
And I was like thinking about getting a license, and I went down to the Ducati garage in Glasgow, and I was like, "Oh, mate, I've not got a license," but he was like, "Mate, I would not sell you one of these. Like, you'll kill yourself." I was like, "All right."
Do you remember that day you took me to a watch show, and you were like, "It's going to be really good for you to like go in, like see some of the dealers, meet some of the dealers, like learn a little about watches." I spent my whole time around that electric motorbike.
Oh, the electric motorbike guy. I think that was the most attention you've ever gave anything in your entire life.
I was blown away by that thing. Yeah, that's facts.
That electric motorbike. The electric motorbike was cool. What were they called again?
Mavericks.
Nice.
Weird that they're at a watch show there.
I know. Anyway, you got any more questions for me?
Just other than on the car stuff, like, is there any other like new stuff coming out? I actually had a guy message me in the week, and he was he'd watched episode 3, and it was the first one he'd watched. He was just like, I'd love to see a little bit more of like car talk. So maybe we need to integrate that in a little bit more. But yeah, is there anything
new V12 Coupe coming? Ferrari. Obviously, they've got 812 Competizione, which is very nice. Is probably like based on my F12 is my favourite Ferrari V12 Coupe, but the 599 GTO is very, very cool as well. But what am I excited to see? I don't know. I'm excited to see someone put a body kit on that new Ferrari 4x4.
On the Purosangue?
Yeah, I'm excited to see that, because I think a little bit...
Scott Disick will have that in it.
Fatter arches, bigger wheels, that'll look mean.
Scallops.
Yeah, that'll look very good. But yeah, no, I don't know.
No.
New G-Wagon's out this year.
The electric one.
The electric one and the facelift.
Yeah. Both
out this year, so excited to see that.
I also saw I only saw it yesterday, it might have been out a while, like the 130 Defender.
The new C63's out now as well, but they're a fortune.
I don't even know if I've seen that.
I love an AMG GT63, which is the 4-door.
Aye. Cool
Absolutely
car.
Adore that car.
A lot of footballers
always loved that car.
Yeah.
Since the minute it came out, they just stack horrendously on finance, and like they're like an absolute small fortune. The finance just hammer them. But otherwise, I'd love to have one of them. Cool car, practical, 4 doors, big boot, and really good to look at, and sounds amazing. So
good. Well, I think we're on an hour and 4 minutes. So we'd noticed some comments as well, some really nice comments on the last few episodes. So firstly, appreciate all the support that you guys are kind of showing us. whether it be sharing it on your stories, making a comment, liking the video, even just watching it. We've probably got about 4 people who are an hour into this.
Yeah, no, I really like the comments are great. People are really nice to us in the comments, and it's good to get some comments because it makes you want to do more and speak about different things.
Yeah.
So thanks to everyone who's commented and
it means a lot.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, please do like, comment, subscribe. But also make our job easier. And I've said it a couple of times, but we're not really getting it. Like, what topics do you want to see? Is there any questions that you want to see us like maybe address, or I don't know, anything? Like, we're pretty open on this pod.
Yeah, I think. Listen, the more you do it, the more people that will watch it, the more questions you'll get. So
yeah, I feel like we're getting slightly better at this.
We're getting better at it. Anyway, should we wrap it up?
We'll do. So thank you.
That was episode 4, guys. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
2 weeks.
Boom. Peace. Done. I think I can hear Mark sniffing about.
Marky!
Hey.
Talking about Mark shagging on the next podcast.
Getting lean now, look.
Lean, mean, pulling machine. Oh, maybe we should do the stills for the thumbnail.
What?
The thumbnail. You know, we got the 2 images. Look at you fucking check yourself out close.
Have you got a bone on it?
Yeah. Right, look like you're talking. Right, you need to do the same for me now. I don't even know if this is going to work, but Mark's going to be watching this. I'm thinking, can I fucking stop the record button? Image of a fucking sausage going in my mouth. Right, thank you, Mark.